and welcome to the EisnerAmper Engaging Alternatives podcast series. I'm your host, Elana Margulies-Snyderman, and with me today is Meg Epstein, founder and CEO of CA South Development, a woman-led commercial real estate firm focused on Nashville and other similar markets throughout the Southeastern U.S. Today, Meg will share her outlook for commercial real estate investing in Nashville and those surrounding markets, including the greatest opportunities and challenges, how the firm integrates ESG, her experience being a woman in the industry, and more. Before we dive into the conversation with Meg, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to EisnerAmper wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can also find us on YouTube at EisnerAmper. Hi, Meg. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. To kick off the conversation, tell us a little about your firm and how you got to where you are today.
Sure. I started the firm about 10 years ago in Nashville. I moved from California here and just saw an incredible opportunity in commercial real estate to sort of take advantage of, all the growth that was happening in the Southeast and bring more modern design and more niche asset classes to Nashville. So it's been a great run. We full circled about over 300 million in projects and 10 different projects. So it's been busy.
At EisnerAmper, we are creative problem solvers that take a 360-degree approach focusing on you. We're an award-winning firm with decades of experience. EisnerAmper, let's get you ready.
Great, Meg. Thanks for that brief background and journey. As a follow-up, given your focus on commercial real estate investing in Nashville and surrounding markets, love to hear your high-level outlook for the space.
I think we're definitely heading into a much better market than we were. I think it's pretty difficult to just say commercial real estate in general. I think the asset class matters a lot. Obviously, you're seeing still a lot of distress in office and now multifamily being so oversupplied in many markets. I think fundamentally, if interest rates go down, we'll continue to see more investment being made. Me being focused on the Southeast, I wouldn't say that we've hit tons of distress, or at least not in the asset classes or major secondary markets that we focus on. And so this, 2025 is looking like a much better year than the last few years where it's just been relatively slow.
Very exciting to hear, Meg. As a follow-up, I would love for you to touch on some of the specific greatest opportunities you see in your space and why.
Sure. I think niche asset classes or alternatives in general is what I typically focus on. I try to see where the puck is going and focus on asset classes that aren't quite yet institutional. That being, we have a new industrial outdoor storage platform that I see a lot of opportunity in. And we also have a residential flexible living platform, meaning you can short-term rent out our residences. And so what we try to do is find, a more niche take on real estate and kind of look and see, where the puck is going in terms of like self-storage 20 years ago was not an institutional asset class. Neither was student housing. We kind of like to be on the forefront of those trends and look at something that can be scaled and made, less mom and pop and more institutional.
Meg, on the other hand, what are some of the greatest challenges you face in your space and why?
I think like any developer, mainly post-COVID, costs and, production became very challenging. And when interest rates went up, basically ground up development just wasn't feasible. We focused a lot on industrial, for example, or multifamily. And to build those same product types, it just doesn't make sense anymore. You have to underwrite rents that are really unrealistic, that are just not feasible in markets like Nashville, even despite tons of growth. And so I think we have to be a lot more creative again about what asset classes we're doing and then be really cognizant of ground up development and be able to be able to make projects pencil these days. That's the hardest part.
Meg, to shift gears a bit, ESG has been top of mind for the investment industry the last handful of years and wanted to see how your firm is addressing that topic.
If I'm being honest, we are a relatively small, scrappy firm, and I've never gotten any sort of preferential treatment for being a woman-owned business, to be honest. It's been mainly just merit-based and based on the real estate that I've offered and my project returns is how I've, gotten my institutional investors. So it's always something that we try to keep in mind and incorporate, but I'd say we're pretty a meritocracy in the end.
Meg, as a follow-up, as you addressed, you are a woman-owned business and wanted to hear your thoughts on what you're doing to inspire other future generations to follow in your footsteps.
I've always tried to, inspire other women to get into commercial real estate because I think that, that's extremely important. Was on the board and have been a big part of a group called Brain Trust, which is basically like a group that helps women take their companies to the next level, like kind of similar to a YPO type group. That's been an amazing group to be a part of and share. I also have mentored many women, and I'm starting to volunteer for a nonprofit called Rock the Street, which is basically helping women get into more finance related roles. So it is something that, that I've been working on for many years. And I really love working with, even younger interns and women like that I've mentored over the years. Have gotten a lot out of shadowing and, hearing my story because I didn't start out with anything and was able to make a lot of headway.
Meg, we've covered a lot of ground today and wanted to see if you have any final thoughts you would like to share with us.
I think that going forward, the future is certainly in the Southeast. I think there's a lot of opportunity to address unmet demand and think outside the box and not just kind of do what investors tend to do over and over again, even as trends are changing. So focusing on niches that have proven to be having an advantage, like what we're doing in outdoor storage or our investment condo product, is where I'm headed, and I'm going to continue to head.
Meg, I wanted to thank you so much for sharing your perspective with our listeners.
No problem.
And thank you for listening to the EisnerAmper podcast series. Visit EisnerAmper.com for more information on this and a host of other topics. And join us for our next EisnerAmper podcast when we get down to business.